New Pod City, the only podcast hosting company in New Jersey, presents Podstock, the 2022 annual podcast conference. At Podstock, you'll hear from seasoned professionals in the podcast industry, interact with other podcasters, get familiar with equipment from podcast gear manufacturers, and enjoy a day that is programmed for experienced and beginner podcasters with keynote speaker, podcaster extraordinaire Rob Greenlee, as well as Christine Blackburn, host of the Storyworthy podcast, Travis Chappell, founder of Guestio, Charles Riddle, founder of Esquire Trademarks, Will Foskey, president of NPC Podcast Network, Frank and Christina Sasso, founders of New Pod City, and many more. Podstock, June 11th from noon to 6 at the Masonic Temple in Trenton, New Jersey. Tickets are just $99. Get your tickets now at podstock.us.
Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Rondo's got what plants
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Yo, and welcome to episode 48 of The Film Blurs. I am Jeff Stewart, aka Uncle Jeffrey, aka J. Otis Dynamite, aka
Revengeman Buttons,
aka He Who Remains, aka
Patty Ruxpin,
aka Jobu Tupaki, aka That Motherfucker, aka To Be Determined. And I am joined here, as always, with my co-host and main man.
Hey, it's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. The True Father of Joe's Kids, a.k.a. Papi Chulo, a.k.a. The Glizzy King, a.k.a. Mr. Krusty, a.k.a.
Elite Protector,
a.k.a. Ruff McCruff, a.k.a. my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like watching grown men sweat on each other, a.k.a. oh man, they starting fires now. Starting fires.
Who's starting fires?
These nuts. No.
Twisted Firestarter,
a.k.a. B-Wood, the Magnificent.
I think we got that down to 30 minutes.
Oh no, we'll get it to 30 minutes eventually. It'll have to be the end of the show.
I'm working on some new AKAs.
Yeah, well, then we're gonna have to jump straight in and save the AKAs for the end.
So what's going on?
All right, so let's do some Maverick cleanup. And first off, let's clear up Don Simpson's death. This nigga did die because too much cocaine and pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah, well, I mean it's tragic, but he gave us the 80s. Like some of my favorite fucking movies were him and Jerry Bruckheimer. So I mean, big cocaine energy, dude.
I will get more into Don Simpson's life in my section of what have we watched lately, because I watched another Don and Jerry production starring Tom Cruise put out from Paramount, and I got a lot to say about it, including Don Simpson's life, which I'm just like, well, man, you die for a reason.
Oh, I think I know. I think I know the movie you're talking about.
And then the only other thing we forgot to talk about is the score, because I hate the score for the first movie,
right?
But the score for the second one, they made it dope. Like, they made those electronic shits dope. So they brought back Harold Flottmeyer.
Right.
It is done with Hans Zimmer, and then Lady Gaga has and I found out why. Well, she composed the song.
Right,
she wrote and did that whole song, and they used compositions from the song into the score.
Gotcha.
And they were writing the song and the score concurrently, so that's why she gets a score credit.
Right.
So she didn't actually compose anything, guys. It's still just the song.
Look, I feel like a born-again Christian whenever I talk about Top Gun Maverick. I was like, have you heard the good news, brother? Top Gun Maverick's coming out on the 27th. Praise be. Like, this movie, I can't stop fucking thinking about it.
Yo, because we don't get movies this good no more. Like, the last good, like, big budget blockbuster that we got like this was The Batman.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, remember this time last year how we're just like, Fuck, gotta go see Snake Eyes. Fuck, gotta go see this shit.
Right.
Guys, go see this dumb shit again.
Yeah.
Like I mean, by the time Suicide Squad rolled around, I thought we were like, it was like getting water, our first taste of water in a Ritz cracker.
Like I remember
through an Oasis.
when we walked into the theater and they gave us the comic books, and we were like, there was only like 4 other people in the fucking theater.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing. It was lovely. It's like, oh God, thank you.
I'm just glad we're a little more consistent with these blockbusters now.
Yeah.
They were clearly holding on to the good ones and just like, oh, these we get rid of the dubs. Get rid of the dubs as quickly as possible.
Let's get rid of the Henry Goldings, the Snake Eyes. Wait, I'm sorry. We're even fucking up the name. Was it G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes?
Yeah, fucking
fuck that movie. 80 million dollars for that
just
shit.
set on fire. That's crazy. That shit should have cost 40 at most.
Right. Ambulance
Was 40.
Go watch that shit. It's
fucking The Northman was 70, dog, and that shit looks like it costs much more than that.
Right.
And then Snake Eyes is 80. Fuck out of here.
All right. Anyway.
So
fuck you, Snake Eyes.
Yeah. So that's that. Paul Feig, Anna Kendrick, and Blake Lively are all coming back to do a Simple Favor sequel. I like the first one a lot. I don't know why it took this long to greenlight a sequel, and I don't know why Blake Lively's coming back, because like it should just be like Andrew Kennick as like a mommy detective.
Yeah, I never saw that movie.
It's good.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. Henry Golden, speaking of, Henry Golden's in it.
Look, like I like Henry Golding as an actor. I rewatched The Gentleman again.
Yeah.
For like 18th time. I can't wait for this new Guy Ritchie movie that's dropping.
He's getting kicked down the curb. So
I love Guy Ritchie.
I hope it's good, dog, because they even put out Wrath of Man last year. This one, they're just like, yeah, push it back again.
Right.
Push it back again. I'm just like
I want old school Guy Ritchie. That's why I went back to watch The Gentleman.
Yeah, I mean, he's good in Crazy Rich Asians too.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's a good actor. He was just that fucking movie.
It's just the fucking movie. It sucks.
I mean, maybe he should have been Shang-Chi.
No, it wouldn't change anything.
No,
it wouldn't
change
change
still
anything.
bad movie.
Yeah, man.
Still bad movie. Bad movie is bad movie.
Yeah, still wouldn't change anything. Yeah. The characters still be there.
Right.
Just there along for the ride. All right. I missed this because there's a lot of stuff at CinemaCon, but they did announce the Equalizer 3 at CinemaCon coming out next September.
Look, my favorite genre of film is Denzel Washington out for revenge. Equalizer, Equalizer 2, Man on Fire. I love watching Denzel Washington kill people.
I mean, him and Antoine are coming back. So all I ask, is tie this shit into the Queen Latifah show.
I have not watched the Queen Latifah show.
Neither have I, but I just want it'd be cool just to have that like as a little connection.
Isn't her name McCall too?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess they could make it work.
Yeah. Meet them cousins.
Yeah. Even though like Equalizer 2 wasn't nearly as good as Equalizer 1.
Oh, word? I like 2 better than 1.
I liked 1 a lot,
because 1 has that like Home Alone type ending.
2 was a little long. That's my problem with it. It was a little long.
I like 2, especially the shootout. That shootout is hard.
In the abandoned. Yeah. Look, I've always fucked with Antoine Fuqua. Like, he does not get enough respect.
You say that now, but he got another movie dropping Amazon next month with Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Like and the Infinite, I don't think that was Antoine Fuqua's fault. That was the script and everything else.
They tried to shoot Canada as New York, and you could clearly see that nothing in that looks like no part of Queens or Brooklyn, because that's what it looks like.
Right.
It's either Staten Island, Queens, or Brooklyn. Never looks like that, dude. Never looks like that. It looked like England. It was more closer to England than it was to New York.
You can't shoot anywhere else but New York and call it New York and like not have at least East Coast people know it's fake. Maybe Middle America, like, oh, it's New York City.
Like they had Hellboy 2 had fucking the headquarters for the BRPD was in Trenton, but there was like mountains and shit.
Right, exactly.
And waterfalls.
I was like, look.
Del Toro, I love you, but what the fuck are you doing?
Look, I know what fucking Trenton looks like. I live here. I know what New York looks like. You can't fool me. I know what Canada looks like, bitch. Like, I've watched enough Degrassi Junior High to know fucking I see a Canadian film crew.
You know, I went on vacations there. I went to Niagara Falls twice, went to Toronto twice. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what? The only...
went on tour to Montreal, too.
So, speaking of Guillermo del Toro shooting the BRPD in Trenton, you know the only show that's ever gotten Trenton right was Hannibal.
What season?
Season 1, I think it was episode 3. One of the murders took place in Trenton, and they actually got Trenton police cars with the brush script fucking font on the side. I was like, oh, that is a Trenton fucking police car.
I gotta go back and rewatch Hannibal. I love that fucking show anyway.
I didn't finish out the
third season. I haven't even. I stopped right when they got to Red Dragon.
Right, because I stopped because I knew they weren't going to renew it, and I just wanted, like, you know what, let it live in my memory.
No, I got caught up in other. Oh yeah, that's right. They wouldn't show it because they're showing the World Cup at the time. Like, I would record it. And they'd be like, yeah, Hannibal's not showing tonight because of the World Cup. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is all right, NBC.
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ.
The writing was on the wall. But if you have not seen Hannibal, Hannibal is one of the best shows that NBC has put out. Is it on Peacock?
No, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I got to get on. Because, rights to this shit last like in 2 seconds.
Right.
All right. Hayden Panettiere's character, Kobe. I think that's what her name was. I can't remember. Because I only seen Scream 4 once.
I can't. I might have seen it. I can't remember it, but okay, cool.
Yeah, her character from Scream 4 is returning for Scream 6.
Sure.
So,
okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Married with Children is going to be an animated show. Which
I'm so excited about it. Did I tell you I was watching that for like it's been 35 years, the 35th anniversary of Married with Children, and I started rewatching it. Oh, it is hilarious, but so fucking problematic.
Oh yeah, come on, man.
God,
yeah,
damn.
I remember that I used to watch that shit as a kid, man. Like, yeah. That shit, of course, that shit's problematic.
I forgot.
That's straight from the 80s.
I forgot how bad they had these. All right, so they had these Arabs on there, and they were just talking about like the fucking bombs and shit like that, blowing shit up. It's like, oh, clutching my pearls and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's Ed Bundy, dog.
No, ma'am. Like, I remember No, ma'am.
Ed Bundy, bro. Almost everything he did or said was problematic. Yeah.
Hooters, yum, yum, yum. Hooters, give me some.
The opening fucking credits has what's her face?
Peg?
Yeah, what's her name? For real.
Katie Seagal.
Yeah, it has Katie Seagal tossing a salad, and
with
the
a cigarette
falls from her mouth right into the salad, and she just keeps tossing. I was like, that's some 80s shit.
Yo, like my thing for redheads, my penchant for inappropriate behavior, I'm blaming it all on Married with Children.
And now gets to corrupt a new generation.
Yes.
Cartoon.
I'm so glad they're bringing back everybody, and they're doing it as an animated series just because I don't want to see these people old. But like, I would love to see the cartoon. Like, fucking, if Big Mouth can pull it off, like, you can imagine what the people who did Married with Children, that creative team.
Well, that was like Clerks. Clerks was an animated TV show on ABC, and they did some shit where I was like, "Oh shit!"
It's like that's why I got canceled. Was it 4 episodes?
Yo, 6. After the 4th episode, they had. I remember they had a
disclaimer, right?
No, they had a joke like Dante and Randolph get kidnapped and they get turned into slaves, and he's like, oh man, carrying this rock sucks, and the dude's like, hurry up and work. He's like, no, and he gets whipped, and he's like, I stand corrected, this sucks. And so because they're slaves, they have like a little throwaway joke to Schindler's List called Flintstones List with like the Flintstones. Yeah, I was like, I remember watching that for the first time. I was just like, holy shit.
Oh, my pearls.
I was dying. And then they always have that little kid and that little girl, and I'm pretty sure like that fucking little girl's like taking sexual advantage of that little boy. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, where can I find that? Where can we like? It's because it's not anywhere, is it?
Oh, I got the DVDs.
Oh, of course,
The Clerks animated series.
The entire series, all 6 episodes,
and it's uncensored. So imagine all the bad stuff in it now, just times 2.
Yes, so Married with Children's coming straight through, throw his dick on the table.
Oh shit. All right. MODOK got canceled on Hulu after 1 season, and now that leaves Hit Monkey as the lone remnant from the defunct Marvel Television. And you know what? As bad as Marvel is now, Marvel TV, like, they sucked all around. Just all around sucked.
Like, I tried watching the first episode of MODOK, and halfway through, it was like, this is not for me.
Yeah, and honestly, the first episode I thought was funny, and then it don't get better.
Right. Hit Monkey, I stayed with. I don't think it's gonna. It's not gonna get a second season,
bro. This is the only thing that remains, and you know what? They're trying to scorch that off the face of the earth. Obviously, like, don't get me wrong, I like Hit Monkey a lot, and I was like, baby, you just out the gate too late.
Yeah,
because Kevin could have saved your ass, like he saved the Defenders, but my man, you done.
Yeah,
like, Hit Monkey's good too.
Yeah, so like, R.I.P. Marvel TV. It's on life support.
All right.
Hospice.
Let this be a lesson. Don't get Jeff Loeb to run your fucking studio division. That dude sucks. Yeah. Even his comics. I mean, he started off the gate with his comics. I was like, damn, this dude is on fire. And then, like, the last 10 years he was writing comics, and you're just like, ooh, boy.
And isn't he mad problematic on Twitter as well?
I can't remember. Who knows? I don't
know. Everyone's problematic. Fuck you, I'm problematic.
Fuck it. Bullet Train has been delayed 1 week so it could get IMAX screens. So instead of coming out July 29th, it's coming out August 5th. So it won't have to compete with Nope either.
All right. I mean, at least there's a reason for it. Like, I can wait a week.
They should have put it out like either this week or back in April.
Yeah, I mean, because it's...
Or March.
Because I'm telling you, our Lord and Savior, Top Gun Maverick, is going to fucking destroy everything. Like, if you're not like Jurassic Park or Nope, you don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I know, because now I'm looking at Thor. I'm just like, oh, sure, nigga. Like,
yeah, like
okay, sure.
Like Marvel,
all right.
Show me something.
All right, like, I'm looking at that shit. I'm just like, you know what, man? All this other shit's in the pipeline, though.
Yeah. So, all right.
Also, and R.I.P. Fred Ward.
Yo,
yeah, man, he died. So,
like, I love Fred Ward, and
my favorite hard ass.
And honestly, it made me really sad because one of my mom's favorite movies before she passed was Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, where he plays the fucking, he's trained as a ninja.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it holds up, but it's still a fun fucking 80s movie.
Right.
And I've watched that so many times. And he was Remo Williams. So he was fucking Tremors.
Damn, I forgot he was in that motherfucker.
Right? He was fucking Tremors, baby.
God damn it. All right, man. R.I.P. And for our last bit of news, Christopher Walken is going to be Lord Emperor Shaddam Carino IV in Dune Part 2.
So when I heard this news, I was like, okay, so they made what is probably one of my most anticipated movies that's going to be coming out next year even more exciting by putting fucking Lord Christopher Walken as the emperor of the motherfucking universe.
It's because I'm smart.
Yeah, the one who basically, he's the true villain of the motherfucker. Like, he's the reason why House Atreides is no more.
Right. And like, I love Christopher Walken and everything he does, but like, he hasn't had to really act in a minute.
Now they got he's gonna be
right. So he's gonna put his fucking foot in this shit.
I mean, he got the director. It's Denny. We all know, like
yeah, he might be terrifying in this. I want to. Oh God, I'm getting hard thinking about it.
You know what? I think he took the role because he listens to the show and heard how much we talked about Dune.
The film Blurs with my friends Jeff Stewart and Brendan Norwood.
Okay,
that's probably why he's like, who's this Denny Villeneuve they keep talking about? Then watched his movies and was like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, you're welcome, Denny, and for us making that hookup for you that connects.
Hey Denny, why don't you let me hold the IMAX camera? Let me shoot a couple of shots. Like fly me out to Dubai. Let me do like an explosion CG in the fucking sandworm.
Can we do that?
Like I want to shoot something in IMAX. Let me shoot Paul falling through like a omnicopter in IMAX. Let me shoot one of the fights, Sith knife fights.
That's our goal. That's our goal for
to get on set and shoot in IMAX.
Yeah,
Chris. All right, Jeff. What have you watched lately?
What you watching? What you watching? I said what you watching? What you watching?
What are you watching?
All right. So a couple of weeks ago, I watched The Lincoln Lawyer with McConaughey for the first time. Right?
Oh, did the show drop?
The show dropped
on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and I watched it this whole entire weekend.
How many episodes?
10.
Okay.
Should have been 8.
That's Netflix, baby.
It should have been 8. And I started watching this. I wanted McConaughey. Like, he killed the role, right? That being said, this show's not bad. It's standard, like, lawyer procedural. If you're into that, like, if you've got an auntie who's into that shit, everyone's got an auntie who loves that, that shit. This is a David E. Kelly production, so so like it feels like a David E. Kelly with a little bit more edge and some curse words.
I mean, I fuck with The Practice, but that's it. Like, I don't fuck with Ally McBeal. I don't fuck with the Boston Public. I don't fuck with the spinoff of The Practice, Boston Legal.
Right. Like I was never a big David E. Kelly fan.
I don't fuck with House.
Oh, that's right. He did House. Yeah, I like House. Depend on the episode. That being said, like it's enjoyable enough, and shout out to like them recasting or totally revamping and recasting the main character, because they got a Mexican actor, what's his name, Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, to play I can't even think of the fucking dude's name, the Lincoln Lawyer, and he's not as smooth as McConaughey, but it's hard to be as smooth as McConaughey. So he did his own thing. And I do appreciate that he wasn't trying to do a McConaughey impression. He just made it his own thing. And the mystery, it's engaging enough. The characters are engaging enough, but it's a lawyer show. And that's all I can say about it. Like it was enjoyable enough. If it gets a second season, cool. If it doesn't get a second season, I don't really care. It is definitely 2 episodes too long.
Sorry, man. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no,
I haven't seen it yet.
There's nothing to say. Like it's enjoyable enough.
Just I want you to be prepared for the Netflix blow, because Stranger Things, they just had the premiere for their first episode, because that's all they could show, because the first episode's that long.
Right.
First episode's an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, like so. I'm burnt out on Stranger Things.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, so fucking Lincoln Lawyer, I've seen worse on Netflix. I have, and that's pretty much all you can say about Netflix. I've seen worse. that's high mark for Netflix. But
some of that shit is worse. Is like it's the worst of the worst. Like you got the fucking Hillbilly Ugly on there. What's the other shit? The one we reviewed, Don't Look Up. Like most of that shit, you're just like, this shit sucks.
Right. So the Lincoln Lawyer, give it a watch. If you love David E. Kelly shit, if you love lawyer procedurals, I could tell that they did reshoots during this, right? So like in the second or third episode, they start introducing this this motif where his driver is driving him through the desert and he's expounding on the legal system and shit like that was absent in the first 2 episodes, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, and it is shot real weird. It's shot like they were the Turkish version of a Lincoln car commercial. You know those McConaughey Lincoln car commercials?
Yeah.
It's like a Turkish knockoff of one of those.
Got
right?
you. Yeah.
So they're driving through the desert and shit like that. He's expounding on the legal process and explaining jury selection and shit like that. And you could obviously tell that was done because the audience was like, we don't really understand what was going on. Or an executive was like, well, we don't blah, 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 blah. The audience is too stupid. We're going to put this in there. So that really threw me when I saw that visual motif. I was like, they couldn't even make that. There were a million different ways you could have made that smoother, but they chose none of them. So Lincoln Lawyer. Moving on from that, I watched in preparation for one of our main reviews. I watched Firestarter 84.
Yeah, how was it?
Oh,
okay. Well, all right.
No, I wrote notes on this, man. I can't tell if Drew Barrymore is a good child actor or not.
No child actor is good.
Yeah, but no, like Dakota Fanning was good.
Yeah, but where's she now?
I mean, she's an adult, I guess. I don't know how old that bitch was. So like she spent most of it, just screaming "daddy" and yelling and whatever like that. The racism is still on display. Like I love Stephen King stuff, but sometimes just like it's overtly racist.
Yeah, he ain't no better.
And it's the 80s, so I can't blame him. But like there's the one scene where David Keith tricks the black cab driver into thinking that he's getting a $500 bill when he's only giving a $1 bill. And the cab driver's like, oh, gee, for $500? Yes, I'll drive to the airport. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Doesn't hurt my heart. The overreacting is ridiculous, even by fucking 80s standards. There's this one scene where the dad is looking through the house for his kid, and he's just like, oh, Charlie. He's fucking knocking over fucking vases and shit like that. He busts through a screen door. It's like, what the dog? Like, calm down, collect yourself. She probably not in the house, and also you pretty much destroyed your whole entire fucking house. So I mean, why would she want to come out anyway? Because you look like a madman. The one thing there's one thing that I really want to point out though. It is kind of creepily sexual.
How? Like
all of these grown men are coveting this girl, and so it stars George C. Scott as a Native American.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Does it look as bad as it sounds? Okay, so there we go.
Yeah. So George C. Scott is a Native American who karate chops dudes to death in their sleep, and this is an interaction that I wrote it down word for word that he has with Martin Sheen. I want her when you're finished with her. You are mad. How right you are. So are you, mad as a hatter. What are you going to do with her? She's very beautiful. She's very young, but within her lies the power of the gods. We're going to be close, she and I. Oh, yes, very close. And I can only imagine George C. Scott looking at the director, Mark Lester, and being like, Mark, are you sure this is how I want you want me to play this? And like Mark is just there like Birdman rubbing his hands together. Yeah. There's another interaction between David Keith and the daughter when they're running from the airport. They fall down this embankment and they almost get hit by a car. He saves her and he looks at her and it almost looks sexual the way he's looking at her. And I can only imagine David Keith looking at the director, being like, Mark, are you sure this is how you want me to play this? And Mark's back there fucking popping out behind a tree, rubbing his palms together. It's like, yeah. So beyond that, like, it's weird lens choices. Fucking, it's anamorphic, but they don't format it, so like everything is stretched, and like they're using anamorphics for like conversations, not even stuff where it would like aid the movie. The DSI, the Department of Science Investigation, whatever like that, is on a plantation for some reason. Yeah, it is very, very, very awkward. It's very creepy. But it's fucking hilarious how 80s this movie is. So if you get a chance and if you've never seen Firestarter 84, do yourself a favor, strap in, and just let it wash over you. So Firestarter 84. I had to get that out of me because I was watching this. It was like, well, what am I watching? Because I remember watching it as a kid, you know, but you know that was fucking a million years ago. After that, we're gonna go into I saw the first couple of episodes of Shoresy.
The fuck is that? Shoresy
is the spinoff of Letterkenny. Do you watch Letterkenny?
No, I heard of it.
Yeah. All right. So it took me a while to get into Letterkenny because it's not very accessible. It's very fucking Canadian. But once you get into it, it's actually quite hilarious and well written and smarter than a show like that should be. And also very cinematic. Shoresy is in Letterkenny. He's a hockey bully. You know, he's a goon, right? You never see him. You just see like the back of his head or his face is covered and shit like that. And he's the creator of the show, Jared Casso, right? So he's who also plays another character in Letterkenny. So they gave Shoresy a spinoff. You actually see Jared. You see what Shoresy looks like. He looks like a redneck, mullet and all, missing teeth. It's actually hilarious. He looks like a hockey goon. And this show is very fucking weird. Very fucking weird, but also hilarious because it's so weird. Because it's so inaccessible to someone who lives in the United States and doesn't know fucking shit all about hockey. Yeah, so it drops on Hulu, I think, in 2 weeks. Check it out. If you're a Letterkenny fan, strap in. Because even as a Letterkenny fan myself, it's going to take me a couple of episodes to understand like the language and the cadence and everything like that. But when the jokes hit, the jokes hit. Like my favorite joke I heard out of the show was, you know what's funny is the amount of times that your mom has faked a jellyfish sting so I would piss on her. And when I heard that, I died laughing. And that's the whole entire show. It's just fucking insult jokes like that.
All right. So it's like Curb. Curb does that shit too.
It's weirder than Curbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less accessible than Curbed. Like you gotta watch it to like really understand. But like I said, if you're a Letterkenny fan, you're gonna love this, but you're not gonna know what's going on. It's gonna take you a couple of rewatches to be like, oh, that's what they said. I tried rewatching World War Z. And I have mixed feelings about that movie because I loved the book so much. I've read the book 10 times. I own the audio version, the regular version and the unabridged version. If I were to direct anything, I would want to direct just the Battle of Yonkers scene from that book, which it would be the greatest zombie scene ever, but also like maybe one of the best military action scenes ever. Have you ever read World War Z?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The Battle of fucking Yonkers. The way Max Brooks describes that in the book, like you see it. and you feel it, and you're fucking terrified by it. You know, I was mad at World War Z when it was first announced. I was mad at it when it came out, just because it literally has nothing to do with the book. Right? So if you strip the World War Z moniker from that movie, it might be an okay, kind of decent horror action movie. But knowing where the source material is, and I'm never that dude. I'm never like, oh, the book is so much better. Like, I'm going to be that dude with World War Z.
I mean, the movie sucked. The source material was good. So, I mean.
Yeah, like, but like after rewatching and spending some time away from the book and this movie, it's competent enough of an action zombie movie that, you know, if you saw it on a Saturday afternoon before you did anything else, you wouldn't be mad that you spent the time on it, or it plays in the background. But knowing the source material and knowing how big this movie could have been, and how like intricate and how interesting that movie could have been, like, it just makes me sad that they fucked it up so badly. And I kept it pretty light after that. Did you watch the last episode of Atlanta? Fuck, man, I felt attacked, but also like, yeah. Because I don't know if I would be able to pass the black test.
Oh, I would have passed that shit.
Like
some of those questions were dead easy.
Right, but the Hennessy question is like, I don't. It's like you don't mix Hennessy with anything. You just
straight. I would have said straight Coke, pineapple juice, orange juice,
cranberry juice.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Try it. Have you tried it?
No. Like, I going to.
All right. I don't drink Hennessy, so I don't know. But once again, like, this show is constantly fucking amazing, and it's truthful.
See, I thought this episode was all right.
I thought it was great.
All right, it was like the first episode of the season. I was like,
I thought it was great, and that last line, where dude's in the electronics store, and the white girl comes up, and he's like, "I have never found you more attractive than I do right now." And he just looks at the camera. I was like, oh shit. I feel attacked, but also that's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, that went over my head. And I was like, sure.
All right. Yeah. I felt it was great. And so like we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, you need to watch Atlanta. If you have not watched Atlanta, do it. What's stopping you? Because, you know, it's fucking fantastic. I'm done. Moving on. What have you watched?
I'm gonna start, just a quick shout out to Under the Banner of Heaven. The 4th episode dropped, and this shit gets just more and more fucked up. Sorry, Mormons. All right. So after that, it was just basically all movies, and you know what? Let's start with The Godfather Part 3. Okay. Popped in the 4K Blu-ray. Goddamn best transfer out of the whole trilogy. The sound's incredible. I like this better than 2.
Word. Okay.
Yo, listen, watching Michael soul be like, his soul's tormented the whole movie, and just watching a remorseful old man who know his soul can't be saved from going to hell, and then he's trying to literally leave all that shit behind him, and all these petty and greedy motherfuckers keep pulling him back in, including the church. I love it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and it's Al Pacino's best performance in the whole fucking trilogy, dog.
So this was the standard cut, right? Because
this was the 1991 cut. It's 15 minutes longer than the theatrical cut. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they would have cut out of it, because everything that's in here has a purpose. Like, every minute counts, and it moves so fast, so much faster than Godfather 2.
I've got to revisit Godfather 3.
So now I'm excited to watch Coda, see what the recontextualized version is.
All right. Yeah, all right. When's Coda coming out?
It's already out, dog. It's been out for a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not up on the Godfather like that.
Yeah, so that's Godfather Part 3.
Right.
Friday night I watched Sneakerella on Disney Plus.
Okay, what is Sneakerella?
It is a Cinderella gender swapped with a sneakerhead.
Okay.
So he's like he's trying to woo the fucking princess, and she's like the daughter of a CEO of like the most famous shoe brand in the nation, and he's looking for a new designer, and this is his way to escape from his evil stepfather and his evil stepbrothers.
How is it?
It's for kids.
Okay.
It's for kids. I mean, I'm not too mad at it. It's the whole entire black cast. I was like, yo, this shit looks nicer and has a bigger budget than most shit that comes in the theater. So I was like, you know, it's only so mad I could be mad at this for. I was like, yo, this is not for me.
Okay.
I don't think it's good, but you know,
it's not.
I can't be angry at that shit.
Okay. Fair enough.
If a little black kid came up to me, he's like, yo, I love that movie, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it, little nigga. All right, and then I want to get into The Hobbit, the third one, the extended cut.
Yeah, get into it.
Fucking this goddamn dog shit. The Hobbit is a book for kids. It's like 250 fucking pages. We got 3 3-hour movies, and like I said before, it's like what this is my first. I watched it. My brother watched it for the first time with me yesterday, and like once it got to the gore and blood, he kept like staring at me like, "Yo." I was like, "Yeah." I don't know why. Yo, The Lord of the Rings is darker in tone, much more nihilistic in tone than this, which is much more lighter in tone, much more kid friendly. And y'all decide to make this one rated R with all this CG blood and gore, and it just looks like a fucking video game cutscene. I'm telling you, it looks like a 15-year-old just went in and lost his fucking mind.
You're not selling me on this, man.
I would tell you, watch the first Hobbit movie, watch the first one extended,
right,
and watch it as like, yo, this is Lord of the Rings you could show for kids, and then that's it. Like 2 and 3.
Can I just stop at 1?
Yeah, stop at 1.
But like, will I be satisfied, or are there any like story beats that I actually need to have resolved?
Okay, so then go to the very end of the second one.
Right.
Watch everything with Smaug.
Okay.
That's the fire-breathing dragon. And then if you want to finish that, watch the first 10 minutes of the third one, and then that's it.
We have to know someone out there, an editor, who has probably put together a good cut of this movie where they cut out most of the second movie
and the
third one and just made it complete. Because that seems like a lot of work for me to enjoy this fucking... All right, I got to fast forward the DVD 10 minutes into like the second movie.
You gotta use the chapter button and skip all the way to like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, that seems like... I know someone's done that. I know someone's already done that.
You could clearly tell. You could clearly fucking tell. This was... When you get to the second movie and the third movie, you could clearly tell, oh shit, we gotta make this another extra movie out of this fucking nothing movie. Let's add in all this shit to make another 3-hour movies.
Isn't there a scene where they go like river rafting in barrels?
Yeah, and all that shit's in 3D. Like watching it in 2D yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this was in 3D because there's all these like arrows flying at you and shit. Trees are coming at you and shit. An axe gets thrown at you and shit. And I'm just like, God damn, this, yo, if you're not seeing it in 3D, it's just like you watching some fucking dumb shit.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
There's a dwarf that's heavier. It's just nothing but fat jokes with this motherfucker. I'm like, God damn, we punching down.
It's like, oh, we gotta fill 2 movies with fucking fat jokes.
Jesus Christ.
How many breakfasts did you have today?
Yeah, so after that, I will get into the last thing I watched, which was Days of Thunder.
Woo!
This is Top Gun with racing cars.
Exactly. That's how they sold it.
I will say this. You know how I feel about Top Gun.
Yeah.
This fucking movie makes Top Gun look like goddamn Godfather.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This movie exists because Paul Newman and Tom Cruise went to a racetrack, shut down a racetrack and decided to race cars. and Tom got one of the cars up to 180 miles an hour. It's like, oh my God, this should be a movie. It's the only reason this motherfucker exists.
Look, NASCAR the movie. NASCAR can't talk about how they don't have representation. They've got a whole entire ass movie. All right, let me give a play-by-play of the way his face looks right now. Brandon is bent over the desk. He's rubbing his hands through his hair, trying to formulate how to best describe Days of Thunder.
Let's start with Nicole Kidman's character. Listen, we all know that they were married, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Mm-hmm.
They started a movie together before this. They have no fucking chemistry in this motherfucker. It's like watching two fucking stools act with each other. I was just like, I'm laughing at this, and the only reason why it's funny is because these motherfuckers were married.
Right. This is Eyes Wide Shut all over again. Like, yeah. Go ahead.
Nicole Kidman was like the 15th actress they asked because every other actress they had, and I saw all the names, they all said no. Even actresses who are worse than Nicole Kidman straight up said no.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they went through 15 different actresses. Like, how bad was the script?
Oh, dog, it's dog shit. Written by Robert Towne. And Robert Towne's a great screenwriter. Like, he wrote Chinatown.
Right, yeah.
Robert Towne, before Christopher McQuarrie, Robert Towne was Cruise's go-to script guy.
Right.
So that's why when the movie opens, it says story by Tom Cruise and Robert Towne, and then screenplay by Robert Towne. And it's just like, right out the gate. Yeah. So Tom Cruise gets sexually assaulted in this. Like, as a joke, they get pulled over for the side of the road and these cops start harassing them like, oh, what do you guys got here? We're going to search your place. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, yo, this is stressful. Like, damn, even white people getting harassed by cops. And I was just like, I was getting stressed out. And then the fucking lady cop decides to go over, unzip Tom Cruise's pants and like start groping his dick. And it's like a close up of this shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then she's like, it turns out she's a stripper and she was hired by Robert Duvall's character.
Okay. All right. So at least they pulled that out of the fire, because I thought it was supposed to be like it felt, when you were describing it to me, it felt like Harvey Keitel and Bad Lieutenant. It felt like, oh, them feel a little sticky.
But you know what's bad is later in the movie when Nicole Kidman's character is introduced, because Tom Cruise was asleep the whole time. She's like, yeah, I'm your doctor. And he starts laughing and looking around. You're like, you're not my doctor. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm your fucking doctor. And then he grabs her hand and rubs it on his dick. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is going on in this movie?
You're a lady. You can't possibly be a doctor. Show me them titties.
Yeah, man, this shit is crazy. I want to talk about the production, because the production is more interesting than the fucking movie itself.
Go for it. Preach, brother.
It's pretty much why the movie sucks. Jerry Bruckheimer, Don Simpson. Don Simpson's in the movie, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Like a cameo, or he's like in it?
He's like, it's a very small role.
Okay.
So he's like in a couple of scenes.
Okay.
It was Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer, and writer Robert Towne. They would hold this production up because Tony Scott directed it, and he's trying to shoot the movie. Yeah. Bro, they would get into arguments. Like, them three would get into arguments with Tony Scott for so long that it's been reported by the crew that they would sit around on set for 20 hours, up to 20 hours a day. And they said at the end of the shoot, they amassed up to 4 hours of overtime because production ran over 4 months because of shit like that.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, the studio, Paramount, sent out a production manager.
Right.
Because shit got so bad. They were so behind schedule. The production manager showed up on set and it was like, yo, listen, I'm here on the studio. Here's the shooting schedule. This is what we're going to follow from now on. Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson straight up said to him, fuck the schedule. And that dude turned around because the crew, they're just like, they knew what was going on. They're it's going to be a shit show. They're all standing there and they saw that. They all saw that. The dude turns around, looks at the crew, rips up the schedule, and gets on the helicopter and goes back to LA.
Yo.
Bro, they were behind 4 months, and because they already had a release date locked in, they only had 5 weeks for post.
Fucking. And this is coming off the success of Top Gun, right? So like it's Tony Scott was fired off of Top Gun 3 times.
Yeah.
Right? By Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer for whatever reason. And but he made that movie, right? Like he made a successful movie. Let him make his fucking movie.
Dog.
Big cocaine energy.
Dog. This motherfucker Robert Towne asked for a barn to be built on one of the sets so he could use it when they're not shooting.
I'm sorry, what?
A barn.
Yeah, I know, I heard you. But why?
80s.
Did he have horses? Like, I don't understand.
They built the barn twice, and both times this motherfucker wasn't happy. That was said to be $40,000 they wasted building this motherfucker a barn.
For the writer?
Yes, because they used the barn in a few scenes in the movie.
Okay.
But he was going to live in it too, and the writer had like whole fucking blueprints for how he wanted the barn to come out. Robert Towne.
Yo, that is some big dicking right there. Like, I need you to use production resources to make my dream home, and I'm gonna live in it.
Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer used some of the money to buy an abandoned hotel. They had it completely renovated so it could have a gym in there so they could work out, and then convert it into like a nightclub at night. They said they threw a party every fucking night, and they said because Tone Loc was good friends with Don Simpson, Tone Loc was performing and getting paid to perform at every fucking party.
Yo, I'm fucking up. Like my parents fucked up. I should have been born 10 years earlier so I could have enjoyed working in this industry during
the 80s.
The 80s, son.
And I saved the best for last, yo.
There's a best. There's best? Okay, yeah. Let's have it. What happened? I'm trying to make a move. Like, I'm literally scraping together funds to make an indie movie. Right, and these motherfuckers are building barns.
Dog, I'm laughing.
Yeah,
I'm laughing because this is the most scumbag shit in the world. It's so hilarious. You're gonna have to laugh. Like, I read this shit and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, holy shit! If anybody tried to pull this off today, dog, they would be scorched off the face of the earth. I could not stop laughing. They had a rap party for the crew. Mm-hmm. In their little hotel that they renovated, the club thing,
right? The abandoned haunted hotel that they bought just because.
And fucking Don Simpson lived there the entire shoot.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
They flew out.
I'm waiting.
They flew out $33,000 worth of prostitutes for the rap party. And when the prostitutes got there, they said 80 to 90% of them were in the VIP section with Jerry Bruckheimer, Don Simpson, and Tom Cruise. And then the crew was like left with just a few of them.
There's so what was it?
$33,000 worth of prostitutes.
I don't know what so that's 80s costs. Like, so I'm trying to do the math. All right, so 30. So
you know those were the expensive ones though, right, where you knew like you could have like raw sex and be okay. Because remember Wolf of Wall Street?
Well, yeah, that Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street broke it down for us about how prostitutes work. Like, you got your AAA ones where you could do raw and you'll be okay, and then you got the ones you get off the street corner. Like, he went through every level of prostitute in that movie.
The line producer for this must have wanted to jump off a fucking building. How do you, like, all right, I gotta submit all this paperwork. How do I explain this $33,000 expenditure? Let's call them extras. They were in the stands. So, what was the Coke budget? Oh, the Coke budget must have been amazing.
Oh, speaking of, I want to get into Don Simpson real quick. Don Simpson started off as a publicity assistant at a porn company in San Francisco and worked his way up before he hooked up with Jerry Bruckheimer, worked his way up to being the president of Paramount at a point.
Started from the bottom, now he's here. I mean, I like
motherfucker. When he OD'd, the cops went through his fucking medicine cabinet and found 26 different pharmaceutical drugs, all in alphabetical order, and a pound of cocaine.
I was born too late, man. I was born too fucking late.
That's why that nigga died, because he died from his heart failed from cocaine and pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah, a pound of cocaine. Like, I can't even imagine a pound of flour.
So because this movie's already expensive, because they gotta, build race cars and shut down tracks and work out deals with NASA, NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
Parts of this were shot during actual races with Tom Cruise actually racing the car during like the Daytona 500 and shit.
I mean, yeah, that's on brand.
So on top of all that expenditure, and then the movie being pushed, the movie going over schedule by 4 fucking months, which is insane to me. Went over, it had to at least make back then $150, which back then that's impossible. So when it came out and it bricked, like Paramount straight up blamed it all on Bruckheimer and Simpson, and then they were like, "No, Paramount fucked us. They didn't give us enough time to make the movie that we wanted to." And this,
they gave you an extra 4 months.
Yeah, I was like, yo. So that movie, that's when they terminated their deal with Paramount and went to Disney and made even more money. It's crazy how white people get away with that shit, bro. Yeah, you hear a black dude doing all this shit today, everybody be like, what? Just the hookers alone, people would you would be canceled.
They were not prostitutes per se. They were massage therapists, and we just hugged. It was just hugs. Tiny Cruz loves the hugs. It's warm. It's wet. I think it was worth it. I'd regret nothing.
$33,000 worth of prostitutes.
I have big dick.
Yo, how I wish I was born back then too, because 40 hours of overtime. I mean, 4 months worth of overtime.
I don't even understand that.
4 months. That means they were just chilling. They were all eventually just sat down, drinking beers.
That's some mafia no-show job Soprano shit. Where you just show up to the site and get paid.
That sounds like the best job in the world, to be honest with you. To just watch the 2 most powerful producers cuck a whole ass studio. I'd sit there and be like, yo, this shit crazy, right? Like, I'd be sitting there with a joint, like, yo, this shit crazy. Like, I'd be hitting the dude. I'd be like, yo, John, this shit crazy, right? Every day, I'd be like, this shit crazy.
I would love every minute of it, too. I was like, what are they going to do next?
Bro, imagine if social media existed back then. Like, this would be the best live documentary.
Oh, my God.
Yo, shit.
Days of Thunder is the Fire Fest of movies. Smoke and mirrors.
Well, you got what you paid for.
Fucking $33,000 worth of prostitutes.
Tone Loc performance.
That's
how many times did he perform Funky Cold Medina? Like, damn, that had to be like 8 months worth of hearing that shit.
Let me catch my breath.
Yo, you don't got no other hits.
At a certain point, it just becomes like Abu Ghraib, where they're playing the same song over and over. All right, Funky Cold Medina again.
Yo, Don Simpson must have had that Colombian fish scale, because he must have been having the greatest time of his life. If he's like, my God. Yo, and that's the past 4 months, Tone Loc is back.
That's that 80s Coke too, Oh,
it's pure and uncut.
Fuck. Yo, can we get a time machine? Like, I want to go back in time.
I will make the greatest movie ever made, which would be a documentary of the making of Days of Thunder.
Fuck, you'll win an Oscar for that shit. It'll be like Heart of Darkness.
It'll be like
Tropic, but with more, like, with $33,000 more hookers.
It'd be Tropic Thunder. Like, fucking, basically Don Simpson is Les Gorman. Just showing up on set. He's like, key grip, punch Tony Scott in the face.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Jerry Bruckheimer just standing there with his dick out for no reason. Jerry, why is your dick out? He's like, I don't give a fuck. Y'all getting paid to sit there.
It was like 1980s. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Fuck.
Yo, I just remember after the movie finished, I was like, oh, how'd this happen? And I read this whole production history. I was just like, this is 10 times better than what I just fucking watched.
Right. Like, how didn't this happen? Like,
Dog, I was laughing so hard for 10 minutes about the $33,000 worth of hookers that my brother ran into the room. He's like, you okay? And then I showed him that. He's like, oh, that's gross. I was like, yes, because it's... And he's like, why are you laughing? Because I'm like, this is the most insane thing. Think about it, bro. You're trying to make a movie, and y'all basically made the crew miss other, like, career opportunities.
Right.
Other fucking, like, responsibilities to their families. And they're going to make it up to them by flying out prostitutes and then
that they can't have.
Yeah, keep it up to themselves. That is some fucking Archer Sterling shit. Some real dickhead shit. Look at this shit.
Do you want ants? This is how you get ants.
Yo, this is your apology, but you cannot have it, and they will not apologize to you.
All scored to Funky Cole Medina.
Yeah, that's what they got at the after party. And even Tone Loke's like, yo, I'm only doing 2 songs because I'm about to go join them in VIP.
Right. Oh, you get 2 songs. Funky Cole Medina
and Wild Thing.
Wild Thing.
And that's all you get. And then I'm gonna go get some $5,000 worth of prostitutes myself.
Oh shit. Oh god damn, I needed that laugh.
That's crazy how they got away with that shit. Like, Jerry Bruckheimer's still working today and is still one of the most powerful producers working today, and nobody brings this shit up.
Right?
Nobody.
Because the dude probably has pictures.
That's
like,
crazy.
Dude probably has pictures. Someone did some shit with a goat.
Like, Jeff, if this was me or you, we'd be done.
Dude.
Like, buried.
Like 4 months behind schedule?
Yeah, just that alone. Forget the prostitutes. Or even the barn. Just the barn alone. They'd be like, yeah, no, you're gone.
Yeah, I mean, prostitutes are for winners. Prostitutes are for people who bring movie in under budget on time.
I can see both Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson say that to the crew. Like, here are no prostitutes we bought for you guys, but prostitutes are for winners.
Oh shit. Oh, I did not expect coming in today with this shit. I did not expect this. This is a bonus.
This is why I try to read up on every movie I watch, because every movie got some crazy development history where you're just like, what? Yo, this nigga's still working today, dog. John Simpson's name is coming out on a movie that we all love, and nobody's gonna think twice about why he died and how he lived.
Right.
Everybody's just gonna be like, damn, we miss him.
Right, because did you see The Rock?
Like, God damn.
I'm in The Rock. Nigga, I mean, come on. Like,
yo,
look, if The Rock had $33,000 worth of prostitutes, then that's fine, because The Rock.
That's crazy. All right, let's get in the trailer talk.
Yeah. Whew.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
All right, let's get into this fucking Resident Evil show.
Wild Thing.
That nigga only had 2 hits. He had 2-hit wonder. With the fucking accent over the O.
All right, yeah. Resident Evil on Netflix. Yeah, they dropped a trailer 3 days ago.
We just got the movie, man, and I'm
Right.
just like, why are we getting this show? And I would have never said this. I was like, yo, this show makes the movie look like so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I big up to Lance Riddick, finally getting an actual starring role, or at least I hope he's starring in this thing.
Right.
I mean, it looks like they spent more money than it looks like they spent Stranger Things money on this. It looks like they spent, they had a sizable budget,
Which,
right? But whatever. Look, I love the Resident Evil video games, and I hate the Resident Evil movies, at least the Paul W.S. Anderson ones.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of these movies either.
Right. I mean, the last one, the remake, reboot, whatever it was,
Raccoon City.
It was, compared to the dog shit that we had before, this one, the newest one, is serviceable. It's decent.
Yes.
There were some scares in it, and it seemed like it was made by someone who actually understands anything about movie making, filmmaking. But then the show, the trailer for the show, it looks all right. Like, I'll watch it because I love Resident Evil. I love a good zombie apocalypse movie. A good one. I haven't had a good one in a while, but it's on Netflix.
Look, man, the only thing I plan on watching on Netflix is obviously just because I'm this far deep, might as well finish it. Got this season and next season, Stranger Things. That's it. Like, I'm good. Like, anything Netflix, I'm good. Unless it's a movie. And even then, I'm just like, eh.
Right.
It has to be like a big event or Oscar movie.
Yeah. I'm constantly hoping that Netflix surprises me with one of these shows and it's actually not okay. Like, I want it to be good. Like, I want to be surprised, and I want to I'm batting for Netflix because it used to be the underdog. Remember when Netflix was the underdog?
Yeah. And now, there's just better everywhere.
Yeah.
Infinite content.
Yes. I mean, Netflix, step your game up.
Oh, yeah. Before we move into the main review, because I forgot to say this and what you have watched lately, I like to give a shout out to fucking Kendrick Lamar for dropping Mr. Morale and the High Steppers. That shit fucking slaps. If you have Tidal, it's streaming in Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
This shit is full of shit that made me laugh. Maybe he has a whole song about his cousin and his auntie transitioning. I wasn't expecting that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking. He's an artist.
Yeah.
We throw around artist a lot when it comes to music. He's a musical artist. Like some people are just rappers. Kendrick Lamar is an artist.
Favorite track is Worldwide Steppers. Listen to that. Listen to the lyrics specifically. You'll understand why. Reparations. Also, other favorite one, Silent Hill, where the beat is basically a silencer. That's RNS. That's huge RNS. You know what RNS is, right?
Yeah, if you don't know, Urban Dictionary will help you out.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh, that's real. That's real. I was just like, ooh, that's Kendrick going back to the hood. And who did this? Oh, not even Pusha T would make a fucking beat out of a silencer.
Pusha T is mad that he didn't make a beat out of a silencer. It's like, oh, that was the only thing that was missing from King Push.
That means his next album's gonna have you could literally hear the crack cooking in the background
underneath the Jeffersons theme song.
All right, let's get into the main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurbs feature film review.
All right, so which one are we doing first?
Let's do the short.
Oh, we're doing the short. Okay, so was it last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We, put a challenge out to all our listeners, all our filmmaker friends out there, to send us your shorts. And a dude named Vladimir Minuti sent us his short Vacant, and we're going to review it.
Yo, look, I really like this.
Yeah.
This short is much better made than most fucking features that come into theaters today.
I had some issues with it, but I see the talent on display right there. So Vladimir, you are a fucking master of tone, because I was unnerved throughout the whole entire movie. I don't know if you want my fucking notes, but I got my notes for you if you want to listen, dude. I love that beginning shot, the scene, the 360.
Yeah.
It could have been slower, to build tension.
I get what you're saying.
You know, my biggest problem with short films is sometimes most of the time they go too long. Like, he couldn't cut like 6 minutes out of this movie and make it razor fucking sharp.
It's true. I would say definitely use this as a calling card.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. Like, I could tell,
get yourself like a better script and get yourself a nice indie feature.
Right. I mean, I could tell that this movie wanted to be like, this was a pared down feature.
Yeah.
Like, it was a calling card, and like, if you get the money and you get the opportunity to tell the entire story, then I think we have something here, because the camera work, the cinematography was fucking fantastic, and like I said, the tone, and they like the scene where it turns to color, where she has that when she's in the basement.
Yeah.
And it's shot backwards. I was like, yo, okay. Yeah, like, so dude, be very proud of yourself for this movie. Like I said, I got, the acting is spotty at some points.
I mean, that's indie shit.
It's indie shit, but like they were saying. And, it's because you have those long takes, and like some of the actors could handle it and some of them couldn't. You could tell, who was trying to remember their lines and who was like in it.
All right.
Right. But like, I love the long takes too. I love the way the camera moved. I love the long takes. It's just, and I know you wrote the script.
Yeah, the script's a little weak.
Because the dark figure didn't really play into shit.
No.
It was just there. I would like to have seen how it connected to the larger thing. But like I said, dude, as a calling card, this is, be proud of yourself. Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. All right, so Vladimir Minutin, I can't. Oh fuck, my goddamn mouth. Minuti. I hope that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sending us your movie, and anyone else out there, like I said, send us your movies, and we'll review them.
All right. Well, let's get in the Firestarter next.
Do we have to?
I mean, this.
How much time do we got? Like,
this had a lot of how could I say this? It had a lot of things going for it, a lot of aspects, but it never comes together, and they don't even fully utilize it. Like, I like that everybody has powers,
right?
Never really utilized the fucking the relationship between the Terminator dude and the little girl just comes out of nowhere.
Right. Like Rainbird, who they actually got a Native American. I forget what his name.
I can't remember his name either.
His last name is Gray Eyes. I've seen him in some shit. He's really good. Like, you spent the whole entire fucking movie trying to kill this little bitch. And then all of a sudden,
you're like, I'm your brother. And I was like, wait, what?
It's like, like, remember the end of the movie reminded me of that old saying. It's like, when you were walking down the beach and you only saw one set of footprints, that was me carrying you. That seemed like that type of bullshit.
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith's in it for like a scene, literally a scene, and I was just like, man, they even made Kurtwood Smith bad in this motherfucker.
Gloria Rubin was like trying to do her best impression of Viola Davis as fucking Amanda Waller.
She seemed overly giddy. Like, she didn't even come off as menacing. It just came off overly giddy, and I was just like, clearly this is your first time playing a bad guy.
Right. And like, I've never read the book, so I don't know how, like, because I know the original, like, Firestarter 84, I watched the behind the scenes or whatever interview or whatever like that, and that was like the book. Like, the screenplay, they made the screenplay in 2 weeks, which I get it. And they just had to pare out stuff from the 300-page screenplay to get it down to the hour 48 minutes. But that's how it is in the book. That's what they say. I don't know. I have no frame of reference. But in this, I don't know how close this is to the book, or if at all. But yeah, Kirkwood Smith is wasted. The fucking Terminator dude, we don't really. What's his power?
I don't know. Mom was wasted too.
Mom was wasted. Like
yo, and not for nothing, Zac Efron is good in it, but goddamn, does he have nothing to work with?
Like it's yeah. I will say, yeah, he was good in it, but it was just...
Yeah, he was underserved.
Right.
By the director, by the script.
And honestly, the first 10 minutes, or like, no, the intro sequence, right?
Yeah.
Was a better movie.
Yeah.
Than the actual movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I would have watched an entire movie of them going and taking Lot 6 and freaking out and learning about their powers and being on the run as a prequel to this.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and there's just choices made in this too, where like Zac Efron's like, yeah, we gotta keep our powers hidden. I was like, yo, this is a little girl, little kids. They're loud. They'll say anything. Right. Like, you need to just tell her the truth to let her understand like what the danger is.
Which is why I didn't understand why he made that choice in that movie, because in Firestarter 84, like, this chick knows what her powers are, and her father tries to get her somewhat to control them.
Okay. All right.
You know? But in here, it's just like, don't use your powers, but now that you've set this cat on fire, finish it.
Yeah. It's so, like, especially nowadays, y'all could have took this in so many different directions. You guys had so many interesting aspects, and it was ugly to look at points. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Like, I shit on the original Firestarter, but at least it tried to be, like, it had a beginning, middle, and end.
Right. This just kind of, it sets up for a sequel, and you're just like,
I don't want a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares?
Right. Like, the whole entire climax of her in the DS. For one thing, another thing I'm pissed off at, they never explain what the fucking DSI is.
No.
Like, I didn't know what the DSI was until I rewatched the original Firestarter where they explain it.
Of course.
You know?
This movie's only an hour and a half, and it gets boring at parts, which is not good for a movie that's an hour and a half.
Yeah, like, spoiler alert for this movie, the rights didn't revert back to Stephen King. Like, I think that's what, like, this felt like we got to make this movie so we can keep the rights.
I will say I like the score by John Carpenter.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only good thing about this shit. And now I understand why Universal sent out the screener link as it dropped on Peacock and premiered in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, this shit made $3 million this past.
I'm surprised it made that much.
That is terrible. It don't matter if it went day and date. That's terrible. Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I ain't spent money on the motherfucker, and even I was just like, ooh, man, I feel hurt by this.
Yeah, I can't even be hurt by it. It's just like, Blumhouse was supposed to be the next echelon of, like, genre producing. You know, like, remember when you were excited for a Blumhouse production?
Yeah, you know what, man? Now I'm looking at the Toxic Avenger remake, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, like, what?
It's already rated R, but, like, still.
Yeah, but, but the only thing about that is the Toxic Avenger, it's a trauma film. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even if it's horrible, it's still going to be better than a trauma film. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So, like, the bar is set real low for the Toxic Avenger. But this, once again, another failed Stephen King property that people just can't fucking get.
All right. Well, let's move into our final thing we're going to talk about, which is on the count of three, Gerard Carmichael's debut, Rothaniel's debut.
Rothaniel. I don't know. his mama named him Nathaniel. I'm gonna call him Nathaniel.
So it's a heavy one. It is not as dour as I thought it was going to be, and it's not as funny as I thought it was going to be.
When it's funny, it's hilarious. But it's really good. It's a good movie, and it shows you that Nathaniel Carmichael has real directing chops.
Because this was shot on film.
Yeah, like it looks like it was shot on film. Like
35 Kodak. It said in the credits.
Yeah, no, it's got that feel to it. You're right. It's not as heavy as you would think it would be, but it's still fucking heavy.
Yeah, this is a good movie.
Yeah,
and Christopher Abbott co-stars in it, and he plays the fuck out of that role. Want to say that JB Smoove, Tiffany Haddish, and Henry Winkler play against type. 2 or 3 of them are absolutely despicable.
Yeah. I'll never look at Harry. Well, I'll look at Henry Winkler the same way again because he's the Fonz.
All right.
But honestly, I've never been on Team Tiffany Haddish. Right? Like, I've never found her all that funny. And even when she tried to do,
really,
like, she's humorous.
I think she's hilarious.
She's humorous, but but then again, I've never seen her stand up. But in all the movies I've seen her in, she's like been humorous, but like I haven't been blown away.
You think she was funny in Girls Trip?
She was like, it's, I guess, yeah. But like everything else, once she became Tiffany Haddish, before, like it's that whole entire when they become that name, then they seem to like water down what made them.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she was, for her short part in this, she was really, really good. I mean,
she's clearly hurt.
Yeah. Like, she has drama chops.
Yeah. Have you seen the card counter yet?
No, I haven't seen the card counter.
All right, you should give that a watch.
Yeah, I mean, I could see her becoming a better actress in The Kitchen, even though I didn't really like that movie all that much.
But even, that's the thing that sucks about that movie, because I've seen Melissa McCarthy in dramatic roles before, and I just like, even she sucked in that. Like, even Elizabeth Moss was just there. It's like, that movie did not come together.
Right, but I could see the potential for Tiffany Haddish.
Right.
In that movie. And in this movie, she, like I said, she's only in it for what, 5-10 minutes?
No, it's 10-15.
10-15 minutes, but like she kills it. And JB Smoove, right?
Oh man, I was so glad the outcome with that scene, because it got to a point where I was just like, oh, he's a scumbag.
Yeah. Like I have a hard time recommending this just because it may be triggering for a lot of people, because as someone who does deal with mental health challenges, it's like I was feeling some of that shit they were going through.
Yeah.
Like Nathaniel's whole entire character, but like being good at a job that you hate.
Yes.
Like
I knew exactly how he felt.
I felt that.
Yeah. I knew exactly where that was coming from. I was like,
that's rough. You know? And it's like having to have small talk with these people that you're you don't want to be around.
Yes.
So like a lot of this stuff I felt is like, oh yeah, it's been there.
Yeah, man. Because when he goes to the bathroom and puts the belt around his neck, I was like, I do the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, if you haven't done it, you thought about it. I was like, yeah.
And I got it better than him, because his character, they live in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
They live in bumblefuck where there ain't nothing else.
Yeah. And like, what's his best friend's name?
I can't remember, but played by Christopher Abbott.
Christopher Abbott, when he's in the restaurant and the dude from high school comes up to him and he's like, introduce him to his wife, and his kid is like, yeah, we used to fucking beat him up and shit when we were in high school, right? That was funny, right?
Bro, I was like,
I felt that too. It's like, motherfucker, if I could, I would kill you.
Dude, if that was me, I right then and there would have beat the shit out of him in front of his family.
Yeah, but like I felt that. It was like,
I would have beat the shit out of him right then and there.
But I felt like, oh, okay, so you traumatizing me
was hilarious.
You think we're friends now. We can have like a friendly conversation just because you grew up. But you still don't see what you did.
He got older. He didn't grow up.
Right.
Because he was still laughing about it.
Right. You still don't see what you did to me was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I forgot about that fucking scene.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I forgot he rolls up to him at one point, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to get it, right?
And you know what? I was hoping. I was like, yeah, let the wife take the kids away and then catch him slipping.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's a hard watch. But like I said, the moments of levity are fucking hilarious.
I mean, the moral of the story for this movie is like Bill and Ted. You know what I'm saying? Just like be excellent to each other.
Yeah, be excellent to each other. Yeah. So like, I can't actually wait to see more from Carmichael as a director.
No, me either.
And as an actor, like he wasn't bad
for being his first time in front and behind the camera. I mean, not for nothing. That was good.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up who
Christopher Abbott played.
No, who wrote this.
Wrote it.
So it's written by. I fucking hate the new IMDb. I swear to God,
it's not good.
So if anyone's listening, it's shitty. But yeah, so it's Ari Ketcher and Ryan Welsh, and they are both writers on Rami. So it makes us like when I looked that up, it's like, yeah, it makes sense because Rami has that same sensibility as this.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know how this new season's gonna play out.
I have no idea.
Yo, that finale, I was just like, there's no bouncing back from that.
Like, there was barely any bouncing back from the first season, man. Like
he cannot come back. Like nobody's gonna want to fuck with him.
Right.
Like even his family. Once his family finds out, they're gonna be like, oh no.
I'm gonna actually. When does the new season drop?
It has no release date.
Are they in post? Or are they?
I don't know. I don't know if they're production or post. I know they're that far along. At least they're in production.
Okay. Just to throw this out there, if you have not seen Rami on Hulu, stop whatever you're fucking doing and watch this show.
Yeah, man, it's so good that Mahershala Ali personally called him and said, "I want to be in the show," and that's how he was in the second season. And Brad Pitt's been doing the same. He's been like calling him up, saying like, "Yo, I want to be on the show."
Yo, I can only imagine Brad Pitt in this shit. Yeah. Oh my God. Like Rami straddles that line between comedy and drama.
Yeah.
And like, but I can see that whole entire sensibility here.
Yep.
But I think it just takes a more adept hand than Carmichael has at this moment. You know.
Because I think Rami does it more, the comedy drama, better.
Right.
Like, because when it's funny, it's hilarious. But when it's dramatic, it's more dramatic than anything in this movie.
Right. Like the drama in this movie is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the drama in Rami's sad too.
Right, but they you know what I'm saying? It makes me feel sad.
Right.
The drama in Rami is like, oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you stop fucking up your own life.
You don't feel bad? You don't feel sad for him at the end of this new season? Like, he's done, dog.
But he did it to himself.
I mean, I wouldn't have fucked my cousin either. But
yeah, well, don't fuck your cousin.
Yeah, that's also one of the things you need to learn from Godfather 3.
Don't fuck your cousin.
Yeah, because that's the whole storyline in Godfather 3.
And that's what we'll leave you with tonight.
That's episode 48. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.